Hi, I'm Becca and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make my really easy and quick dragon egg beads. These sort of came up just as I was playing about with some rhinestones that I bought from somewhere that I like to go shopping quite regularly, and these are them. And I've got sort of like a bumpy edge going around it, and I was thinking, how am I going to set these, but not lose the nice shape of them. And this is what I came up with, and then I decided I wanted to be able to make some smaller ones, so I found out these just little tiny teardrop rhinestones that are already in a setting that I've just popped out of the casing. They're really easy to do. You can use up your scrap clay, and you can use up just like your little basket of cane ends if you've got one like that. So it's just something fun to do. And they're that easy to do. You can do them while you're just watching the telly, so you don't need to put too much concentration into them. So let's get started, and I'll show you how to make some dragon egg beads. So to make these dragon egg beads, you're going to need some rhinestones. Now these ones are some that I got from a place called the Recycle Yard. It's basically a craft sort of recycle yard, pretty much. It's sort of like a charity shop, and it's just got all these oddments of craft pieces, and it's really, really cheap. And I got these from here and from there, should I say. And there's some gorgeous colours, and I've not seen anything this sort of shape. Like it's sort of got like a wobbly edge. I can't think of what else to say, what else to call it. But they are really, really nice. I've already been making a few of these beads, as you'll have seen in the intro. But I've got lots of different colours of these, so I wanted to work out how to make them. And these ones are just basically some small teardrop rhinestones that are already in a setting, but we're going to take those out. And this is just so we can do a smaller version of them. Now, if you can't get any of these like what I've got, it doesn't matter. You just want something that's with a teardrop shape pretty much, because you're not really going to be able to see this beveled edge, because that was what I was wondering about, like what am I going to do with it, because it had not got a setting in it anyway, a bezel, and it's got the top with a drill hole in. So I was trying to think what to do with it, rather than just making earrings out of them using the hole and some jump rings. So this is what I came up with. So I've already picked out which two that I'm going to do. I'm going to do these lovely bluey purple ones. In one direction they've got a bit of a purple. I don't know whether if it's picking it up on camera or not, but they are really, really nice. So to do them, you're going to need some scrap clay. You can use regular clay, but you're not going to see it for this part. So if you've got scrap clay, use it, because simply you don't want to waste a nice coloured clay that you can get. Now I figured out for the size beads that I'm wanting, which are this sort of size, I used my IKEA round cutters just to sort of figure out how much I was going to need. Now it doesn't have to be this one, it could be whatever cutter you've got. You're just basically working out the amount of clay that you need for the base of the bead. Now I need 2 sets of these, and this is out on my thickest setting of my pasta machine. And basically this is just what we're going to set the rhinestone in and decorate. So let's take 2 of these out. Bits. So you want to get it warmed up nice, so that it's nice and squishy, so that you can push your rhinestone into it. If you've not got rhinestones, you could make some faux rhinestones with some resin. If you've got any resin, you could do those. Trying to think what else you could actually use. Or if you've got some nice buttons, if you've got any fancy shaped buttons. I know I've got jars of buttons here for another video that we'll be doing. But you can get funny odd shaped buttons and sequins and things like that. So just have a look what you've got in your studio and see what you can use, so you don't have to actually go and buy anything new. So I've got it nice and woke up. So making sure that there's no cracks or joins in it, it's all sorted. And then I'm just going to press it down, make it into a circle to start with. And then I'm going to squeeze one end, and then making it into the egg shape. Okay, so that's basically what you've got to do. Just keep checking that I've not gone off the screen, because I know I've done that a fair few times, and in the videos I've realised, oh god, I've gone off camera. But there we go. So I've got it nice and shaped now, and I've got it sort of flat on the back so that it will. Because if you're using it as a pendant, you want it to sort of be flattened so it'll lay on whoever's wearing it. And so you've got a nice flat back there. Now to do the sorry, we've got to put the rhinestone in first. Now, if you've got some rhinestone setting gel or something like that, what you can use for putting rhinestones on your nails, or I think there's something called gem sticky in America. So if you've got something like that, you can use that. That's absolutely fine. I'm just showing you because I know not everybody's got that sort of stuff. So this is just some liquid Fimo gel, and basically what I've been doing is I've just put a blob on. Very technical term, blob. And I'm just coating all over just to make sure that I don't miss where I want to go. And just brushing it around. And then you just want to take your rhinestone and then we'll push it down and try and get it so that it's relatively in the centre, because we can still squish this around a little bit before we put any of the decoration bits on. Push it down as best you can and then squeeze it up against the rhinestone, and then that will help hold it in place. Okay? And then, lose my tissue. And what I'm going to do is, so I don't keep getting wet sticky fingers, I'm just going to wipe this off for now, because we're going to decorate the back first. But we've done it this way around so that we don't squish our backing. If we were to do that first and then put the rhinestone on, you squish the back a bit. The reason I know that is because I did it. And I thought afterwards, I'm like, oh, should have done it the other way around. And it's just, it's easier doing it this way. Okay. So let's take that up now. For the back, you can use a petal cane, leaf cane, just something that's in this sort of shape, scale sort of shape. If you've got a dragon scale cane, that's absolutely perfect. I've not got any of those. I've just got my little box of all these lovely goodies to play with. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to use these up, and then I've got 2 boxes of other canes. Yeah, I'm trying to use these up anyway. But I've decided to use this flower petal cane, and because it was in my box, it needed waking up, and the cane broke into 3 pieces while I was waking it up. But that's fine. I've just got all the pieces to the same size, and then this was some sort of spiral cane that I was trying. It didn't turn out how I thought it, but I saved it anyway because I thought I'm going to want it at some point, and here I am. So turn it over now. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to create that scale effect. Let's just take that edge off and get a nice clean cut. And then you want some nice thin slices. Now this is why I said you've got to work out the amount of clay that you want for the size of bead that you want. Because once we've got all of these pieces on, it's going to make the bead larger. So work out actually how much bigger you want it to be, or how small you want the base to be. You need to have enough for you to be able to decorate, obviously. But if you're not wanting it to get too big and too heavy, then make sure you take some nice thin slices and make sure your cane's wide awake. Now, I've been reducing this one and waking it up for probably about 10 minutes. But I still may get some cracking because it's been in this box for quite a while. So, but I'll show you if I get any cracking, and I'll show you what I do with it. Right, so you just want to take some of your slices, and we're just going to start at this very top. We're going to go over the edge. You can see, like this. Then we're just going to curve it round. Right, so I've got that cracking there that I was talking about. So you could either use your finger and warm it up and blend it back down. Or the other thing is, where's my needle? Just take something round, and then you can just use this to roll against it, and then that will blend that crack back together. So you don't need to worry about it. And then we're just going to put these at either side. Now, because we're wider at the bottom, at the top, they're going to have to be quite up close to each other because we're wanting the sides to be covered. But as we're going down and doing more layers, it will widen out and it will cover this part here. And on the front is where I'm going to be using the spiral. So I've been starting with 3 at the top, and then I want to just come a little bit further down your second row and go in between the scales or petals above, whatever you're using. Okay. Now, because we've got those, we're going to go right onto the edge like this. And keep going round. Now, if you're not far enough round, this is when you can put an extra row of petals in, which I've done on a few of those, just to make sure that I've got enough space. Now, what you could do is, if you've already got your cane reduce, you can sort of just mark it up against this to see whether it fits the right side. Yeah, I think that's going to be pretty much perfect for this bead. So I think we should be okay. So next row down, we're just going to keep doing this. I'm going to come here. Now, because it's getting wider, I'm going to need to put a bit more there, simply because we're trying to get round that corner. Now, majority of this is going to get covered up by the spiral cane that I've used. Got another bit of crack in there. And then we'll do the same on the other side. So I'm going to do that until I've got all the way to the bottom. There we go. So you don't have to listen to me jabbering on. I'm just going to fast forward through this, but leave the camera on so you can see what I'm doing, and I shall be back in just a second. And so I've got the back all done now. So each layer as you go down, you just go up to the point where the join up, so you're just covering that tiny little gap that there's there. So now turn it over. It doesn't look very pretty at the moment. Well, the rhinestone looks nice and pretty, but the front of the bead doesn't. So this is when we're going to decorate it a bit more. Right, I'm trying to find the bits that I'm needing. Now, so I have got some gold ready, but I've just realised this has got a silver leaf on it. But the next part is we're just going to put something around the rhinestone just to make sure that it holds in place. I've done it this way, like I said, because not everybody's going to have the rhinestone setting gel, so I wanted to show you different ways to do it. So we've got gold, so we'll go with gold anyway. You're not going to need much clay to do this part anyway. So basically we're just going to put some sort of little setting in it just to give it that added security. Plus we want something to cover up that tiny little hole that we've got at the top as well. So you just want to take whatever colour clay you're using. Now you could roll this in some gold leaf or silver leaf if you're using silver leaf, which if I'd have thought on beforehand I would have got my silver leaf out. Or my silver clay, should I say. But this is what's been on my desk when I've been making the other samples. So this is what I've just stuck to. Right, so I've rolled it out. I always cut the end off just to make sure that I've got a nice clean cut. Now you're wanting to try and get some uniformed pieces. Now, depending on the size of your rhinestone and how many of these you want to put around, will depend on how many you need to cut. So I'll get one to start with. And then roll it into a little ball. And then I like to roll one edge just onto my little mat, just to make a little teardrop shape. So to start with, we're going to put them off, just going around the edge. Okay. And then get those two at the top point for this. And then you just want to take a needle tool or a pin or something, and then we're just going to press down in the middle. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to do that all the way around here, but I'm going to make sure that these two fit right at the bottom so that they're going out and then they join back up at the top. So I'll leave the camera on again, but I'll speed you up and put some music on. So I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so I've got them going all around the edge. Now at the bottom there wasn't enough gap for me to put another set of two, so I've just put one so it's facing upwards, like that's how it was meant to be. And then I've put this one here just because you could just about see that little hole that was left. So that's how we're just going to set it in. Now to finish it off, just want to take whatever you want to use. You can use a flower cane, which is what I've used on these ones, and I've just defined the petals and popped them in. What else have I used on? Oh, so basically it wasn't a flower cane, it was sort of like a starburst type thing, but it looked like a flower. So just something like that, sort of round or whatever. You can just squish any cane into a circle. I mean, this is my solar flare cane. I'll link the link in the description box, so if you've not seen how to make that cane, but it's super easy. Or you can just get a normal rose cane, or again just whatever you want to use up. This is just an idea just to use up your little canes and bits and pieces, or if you make a cane specially for it, then that's absolutely fine. This is just what I'm using, but yeah, any of these that you can just finish up with. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go around the edge here, just making sure I've not reduced it way too much. Now when you're cutting a circular cane after each slice, I sort of like try to get it back into its proper rounded shape, because obviously when you push down on it, it flattens it off a little. So if you do that, it just, oh, that one was a bit too thin. Also, you can rock your blade while you're doing it. This helps you to retain the shape, she says, as she goes and squishes one. But yeah, generally, if you do that, it doesn't squish down half as much as what it does if you just went straight down. Okay. So let's start at the top. Now, if you're using a flower cane and you're defining your petals, this is the stage where you define your petals. But I'm just going to pop these on here. Now, if you're using a spiral like me, you can make sure if all the spirals go the same direction if that bothers you, or you can just put them whichever way you want. Now luckily they've actually just gone in the same direction. Then I'm going to squish one of them a bit, slice it up. Okay. So this is why we've come round on the edge, because we're not wanting to see any of that muddy clay. Now if you were using a coloured base, then it'll be absolutely fine. You can incorporate it into the design. So let's go around this side, because I think I might just need a centre one at the bottom once I've got this side in. So when I said you're not going to see them if you come too far around, this is the point I'm making. All you can see is that tiny little gap there, so and it doesn't really matter because they're very colour coordinated. You don't have to do them all the same colour like I'm doing on this one. Right, so yeah, I'll just do one more to finish that one off. You can do them differently. This is just the ones that I picked out of the box today. But if you're making beads for a specific project, then you can colour coordinate them with whatever you want, really. So that's it, that's all you need to do. Now I've been baking them before I've skewered them or drilled them, simply because I don't know how I'm going to use these ones, and they're quite a large bead, so they can be used as a pendant. You could do bead embroidery with it, but then you wouldn't really need to decorate the back. But I've done this like this so they can be used as a pendant, and the smaller ones can be used for earrings or side pieces in a necklace. So that's how to do the larger one. Now to do the smaller ones, all I've done is I've gone half the size. So I've just used one of my circles. Again, I had to play around with to find out the right amount. So see the difference just within the base already. So that's what I've done with all of the beads. So that's a large one, so it's just like half the size pretty much. The rhinestones, obviously they're a lot smaller than the other ones are. They're not quite as wide, but these are just the ones that I've been using. Now if you've got some of these that are in a setting, all you need to do is just take a needle tool or something and push up these little arm pieces. And don't throw them at yourself. Try not to stab yourself either, because I've done that before while I've been making these. The needle tool up your skin's not very nice, so be warned, it is possible when you're doing this one. So and then it will come out, and then you can always save this for something else. I don't know what. I've not got any rhinestones that I'm going to put in a setting with it, but yeah, that's it. So next to the other one, once it's out of its setting, you can see it's a lot smaller. Get them both around the right way. So it's just the same. It's just a smaller, pretty much. That's all there is. Now I've done different ways of doing the setting on the small one, simply because it's a lot fiddly, because they're smaller anyway. So you're doing the exact same thing, but you can either do the setting after you've put your flowers on, or you can do it at the beginning. Now with this one, all I did was roll out some of the gold clay on my clay extruder. Oh, just in case you've not seen one before. Where's the end gone? There we go. And I just used this disc, if you've got one and that's what you want to do. And I just basically rolled it out in a really thin snake, and then I went around the edge of the rhinestone, and then I just got my needle tool and pressed some lines into it just to make sure that it adhered to the rest of the clay and the stone. Now on this one I went, ooh, I'm going to have to fix that one now because that one's not big. I did the snake of gold clay, but I didn't do the lines with my needle tool. I just made some tiny little balls, and then I put them at different sections, and I just pushed down. I think it was just with this needle, and I just push down into it just to make sure that it's set. So that's just another way that you can do it. So yeah, I thought I'd bake these ones and I forgot they're not. So yeah, I'll have to fix that one in a minute. So that's just how to make these really easy dragon egg beads. Just move these out of the way and I can bring the other ones back in. So try not to break them if you've got them, if you put them in the oven. So yeah, I've been making them in sort of sets of 2, just simply, I don't know, for even reason. I don't like doing things in odd numbers, even though I've got an odd number family. That may be why, but yeah. So these are the ones that I've made. Excuse my little dodgy tray that I've got going on here. I ought to have them in a nicer dish to show you. So those are the ones that I've already got done, so you can see they're all lovely and sparkly. Now, once they're baked, you can glaze them in something. I've not glazed these yet. Oh, and I've just realised I've not shown you the rhinestones. All I've done with these tiny little rhinestones, I used a bit of the gel, and these are some like tiny little rhinestones that have got like a pointed back. I can't remember what they're actually called with the pointed back. If I figure it out, I'll put it up on the screen. I'm probably just having a moment and I can't remember it. So I just put a little bit of this glue on each of the little centres of the flowers when I was doing these ones, and sort of just brushed it in just to make sure that it was, well on there. And then I just got one of the little rhinestones, and then I used my rhinestone setter, if that's what it's called. I'm not too sure. I picked it up with the rubber end of this, and I just pushed it in with there, and then went the other side and just pushed it in, and that's all you need to do. And then, like I say, afterwards, once you've baked them, you can leave them matte or you can glaze them. That is totally up to you. There's lots of different ways of glazing them. You could just use there's Pledge Revive it. You could use that to glaze it. You could use a UV resin. You could glaze it with that. You could use a clear UV nail varnish, or just a regular nail varnish if that's all you've got. I'm trying to think what else there is. Where's the I've got a jar of mine. Oh, there it is. If you can get hold of any water-based polyurethane varnish, that's what this one is, and it's Vallejo. I think that's how you pronounce it anyway. But this is the brand that I'm using. I've just put it into this so it's easy for me to dip beads in and things. But you could just get, that was good, weren't it? I think we can take that off there now. I don't think it wants to stay on it. So you just want to get like a little paintbrush or something, dip it in, and then you can just basically put a coat on your beads like that and then let them dry. But I'm just leaving like this until I know what I'm actually going to do with these when I'm beading them. So with any of these beads now, you just need to decide on where you want to skewer it, and if you know what you're already going to use it for in a project. But I don't, so I'm just leaving it unskewered. But when I do, so you can either go from side to side here and one down at the bottom if you want to put some fringe on, or you can just go straight from top to bottom, and then you'll be able to go straight down, straight through, and then just do a dangle at the bottom if you wanted to. So that's just another option for what you can do with your beads. So I hope you've enjoyed that, and it's inspired you to have a go at making some of these dragon egg beads. If you've got any questions, pop them in the comments. I'm happy to answer them, as I always am. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up, that'd be appreciated. If you're not subscribed, consider subscribing, that'd be appreciated too. And if you do subscribe, click that notifications bell and you'll always be made aware of when I upload a new video. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.